Hey everyone, we're back. Woo! It's been a while. 3 months, in fact, probably.
Well, nothing happened.
It's been a slow summer for games, but finally enough's come out that we can go along and keep on trucking. So without further ado, let's do another edition of our ongoing, never-ending top 10 organic list of 2016.
Yes.
Hit them with the news, Chris, or by news I mean rules.
Well, all right. The rules are very simple. You know, it has to be a game that was released this calendar year. If it's a remaster or a port, it has to be something that's new to us. If it's standalone DLC, it has to be able to be played without the game, and we must have sunk a significant amount of time into it.
Correct. And for expediency's sake, we'll recap the games from last time and then talk about the new ones and what we've cut and what we're moving on. So my list up to this point was The Witness, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, The Division, Project X Zone 2, Enter the Gungeon, Quantum Break, Ratchet and Clank, Stories, Path of Destiny, and Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And Chris?
Yes.
Yours was... You can't read my handwriting, it's fine.
Okay.
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, Far Cry Primal, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, 4, Tom Clancy's The Division, Stardew Valley, Bravely Second, Doom, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. Mirrors, and that's it. There we go.
Yeah.
Now, so you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes, I did.
And you were adding 4 games.
Wow. Whole 4 games.
And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 10. And I'm adding 5 games.
That's a lot of games.
It's so many games.
What are you going to cut?
Well, let's talk about what... I'll go first, and then we'll back and forth it.
Okay.
Because 5, 4... Yeah, anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I'm cutting... Stories, Path of Destiny, even though I really enjoyed the story of Stories and the Batman Arkham Asylum based gameplay, in favor of Doom, joining Chris in the one of the best reboots of a classic franchise I think in a while. Just pure, unadulterated game. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I like your little emotes.
I am Doom.
You are Doom. Like, it didn't get bogged down with any bullshit. It was just go crazy, and it made you feel like a badass, and the speed of everything, it was just really well done.
The speed is the most important part of it.
Yeah. It just felt like Doom.
It did.
What about you?
Well, let's see. I am cutting...
No, you don't have to cut anything yet.
I'm just adding. I am adding... I can't read that. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. You know, my top 10 list is a lot different because I don't play as much, so I'm not as discerning. But I did play a lot of Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and it is a fine addition to the Mirror's Edge thing. The parkour is a lot of fun. Well, you know, it's a franchise now.
Yeah.
They had that 1-2D game.
Well, yeah, that's true. That was really good.
That counts. So it's a lot of fun. It's baby's first cyberpunk, so that's kind of interesting to kind of toy with.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not going to make my list forever, but it makes my list
today.
Currently.
Now, for me, I will be cutting, unfortunately... What did I say I cut first?
Stories.
Yeah. Unfortunately, also being cut is Quantum Break. Because while the gameplay was solid and actually a lot of fun to play around with the time powers, everything wrapped around the short firefights was lackluster. And it is being replaced by the 3DS RPG sequel Bravely Second. Another game joining Chris's list. I felt like it did away with a lot of the problems of the first game, namely the entire second half of the story. And if you enjoyed RPGs on the go, Bravely Second is definitely one of the best.
It definitely is.
So, Chris, you have...
Let's see. I have No Man's Sky, the much maligned, often reviled No Man's Sky.
The misunderstood.
Misunderstood is a great word because everyone predicted No Man's Sky to be the next chapter in gaming. And as you described it, it is a mile wide and an inch deep. Because all the planets are randomly generated. All the wildlife is randomly generated. But that's it. Like there's nothing beyond that. And it's neat. And it's something if you wanted to chill and like listen to an audiobook for a few hours and just go planet to planet, that's cool. But it's not what everyone wanted it to be.
Which is not the fault of the game, I don't think.
Nah, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Especially when you have all 6 clips of him saying, yes, you can meet other players.
Right, yeah.
He kind of did that to himself.
He Peter Molyneux'd it.
He did, a little bit.
That's fair.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have been so bad if it wasn't on Jimmy Fallon saying, yeah, you can meet up with other people, totally.
Yeah.
And then the game comes out, it's like, oh.
Except we can't.
We didn't plan for that.
In a patch. Next up, I am sadly breaking my heart cutting Project X Zone 2.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, no.
But in favor of another 3DS game,
Oh.
the third in the trilogy of awesome murder simulators / philosophical puzzlers, Zero Time Dilemma, sequel to 999 and Virtue's Last Reward.
Neat.
It capped off the story, rolled it all up nicely for everyone. The puzzles were great. The story was dark. The multiverse timelines were really well done. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it start to finish.
That's
Boom.
good. You should really enjoy the games you play.
Now, Chris, your first cut is...
Oh, my first cut is...
Well, you're cutting...
I'm cutting Far Cry Primal because it's not the Far Cry I want, and it kind of is not as fun as I hoped it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But I am adding the cultural revolution that is Pokemon Go.
What team were you?
I am Team Mystic, as always.
Caw-caw!
So here's the thing. It's the Pokemon we've always wanted it to be. It brought together our society in a way that no game ever has. It's kind of cool and a lot of fun. There are some issues based on geography. You kind of get fucked if you're not in certain areas. But it's very cool still. Yeah. And it brought people who didn't give a shit about Pokemon
into the
back
fold.
into Pokemon.
That is true.
So I kind of can't help but love it.
Finally, I am dropping Puzzler The Witness in exchange for hyper difficult, super cool sprite game Hyper Light Drifter. And he has a scarf, not a cape. I don't care what anyone says. It's a scarf.
Does anyone actually care?
Josh.
Oh, well.
Hashtag Scarfgate.
Who could care?
I don't know. But yeah, Hyper Light Drifter, especially in co-op, it's such a finely tuned, refined game that does not pull its punches and does not hold your hand at all, whether it comes down to the difficulty of the actual battles, the harshness of the health system, or the ammo system, or even just the toughness of figuring out where to actually go next and finding your path. But because of that, when you finally triumph over something, you get that like really, what are you doing?
Yawning.
Stop it.
I'm trying to hold it in.
You go.
Wait. Yes.
Actually, wait. We next up is the game we both are adding.
Yes.
But we both have to drop something, and I actually believe it's the same game for both of us.
Oh, what is it?
It's Tom Clancy's The Division is being dropped from both of us in exchange for one of the greatest games I've played all year, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Yes, this is a front runner for a game of the year for certain. And I want to say this about The Division. The Division came in with lots of promise, big promise, and then
right.
But Deus Ex, it kind of came in and was the savior that we needed. It's really well done. There's so many ways to tackle all the puzzles. All the mods and OGs are great.
I love the way you just figure out how many different paths there are to any one. Particularly, you can go in guns blazing. You can go in pure stealth. You can knock everybody out.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes, it's my favorite game. My favorite part is going through an area that was really tough and finding a much easier way
to do.
That's so annoying.
You realize that you just made it really hard for yourself?
Towards the end, there were like 2 invisible guys patrolling in a turret. And I knocked them out, and I threw the turret away. And I realized it was a really secret hidey hole I could have jumped in.
Yeah, it's always fun. Or you could have just popped your stealth and walked past them.
I didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
It's a useless AUG.
It's the best AUG.
Useless.
But yeah, so that's it. I dropped 5 games, and Chris dropped 4. So dropping from my list is The Witness, The Division, Project X Zone 2, Quantum Break, and Stories.
Yes.
Dropping from Chris's list is The Division and Far Cry Primal. And we'll see you next month for the first month of the holiday rush of games.
Yes.
High five. Peace.